the 70s in terms of as a musician. There was an enormous amount of help industry from the inside. So I think if you've got questions, Jah has got all the answers to be able to tell you his opinions about those answers. I'd just like to, he's brought his entire band for us, so some of his questions might be written in the form of music rather than in the form of words. I'll leave it all in the capable hands of Jah to take over.
Thanks very much, Jah. Yeah, well, whenever I do these things, this isn't that often. I never know where they're going to go. I'm still a bladder. But beware of bladders as well, probably one of them. But music's been an adventure for me. It's been fun. And so when I started out, all I wanted to do was have fun. I'm drunk, yeah. And have some kind of vibe scene. Music was a great way. I love music. Growing up, the music was I read novels, there were movies, but above all there was music. Also like football, that's another. But I love music, and you know I love reggae music. I was a big bass, and bass was the thing I used to listen to, and then I became a musician. And then punk started, and I was mates with Johnny Lydon and Sid Vicious and all that stuff, and started playing music, and it was suddenly all right to play. So I picked up a bass, and it was the one thing. I've done one other thing that I actually took to as well as I did to bass, which was play pigeon shooting. Play pigeon shooting, and I was running on them suckers out of the air. The bloke said to me, why'd you say it was your first time? It's not. And it was. I was just actively good at it. Driving took me 3 times to drive driving test. Rubber over him, like, how many times have you done it? Barry shout? 6. 6? That's more than that. It was more. You were not anyway, a lot of times. The drummers are funny like that. Then these boys are drummer, and then you would have complicated weird things like having your own run with sun at the same time. But if Mark gets here. So, anyway, I didn't have any musical, basic musical training. I didn't go to music college or anything. And so I got these bass. My mate wanted to hold the bass for me, a little short scale Music Man bass. And I didn't know anything about chords, scales. So I looked at it and see the dots on there. And actually, I even lost out of that, me with it. But within a week or two, I sold that to get some money to purchase some drums. A bit of speed, used to do it, which I wouldn't have advised. To use a price you pay for everything, I tell you that. And so I looked at the dots and I just thought, well, let's go from dot to dot. And I made lightly open strings. So I just built that on it. And I knew that reggae, you could do an arrangement with reggae, and started to realise you could do a lot just on one string, just around these 2 dots there. Didn't know that the whole was G and A, D, G, A. Realised that space silence was as important as the sound. I was a huge music fan. The best show to this day, I'd say, I ever saw was Bob Marley at the Lyceum in London in July 1975, baked in hot night. And there was a guy called Ashton Family Man Barrett on bass. He's really got an incredible style. I mean, out of all the reggae basses, he was the man. Real kind of gaps, lots of gaps in playing fantastic phrasing. So it's a lot of it's about gaps, feeling a bit, you know, a straightforward way to play, and only imagine a faultless way to play it. I'd like to break it up. So I started to develop this fit style, which I realised was mobile. It's kind of fixed position rather than caudal. I'm sure you're kind of finding out here the difference in. And I'm a fixed position guy. I like fixed positions. So quite many medieval times they like walls and a definite cosmology, and that's what I'm like. I need that because I'm a bit OCD-ish. So I need the security of a fixed position. I get worried when everything's in a state of flux. I become anxious. I start to check that the taps are off and the doors are closed, and all that. Maybe a bit too much. So I like a fixed position. So I actually started to go from slightly like geometrical shapes on these dots, which I then found out were octaves. And I started just working with those. There was a bass line I made a public image. Well, I eventually got into public image. One of the first lines I made, I think I created this swap where I forgot to say, when I'd sold the amp and the lead, and I had this crappy little music there bass with a really high action, and I would lean that against the bed, the end of the bed. The actual base of the bed had gone. It actually was like a young ones. We shot it up, I shot it up, set fire to it, and it resulted in a huge fight in the North London public house with the guys I shared the squad with. We weren't happening quite understandably. Actually, it was great because quite a lot of the blues players who would fold guitars, they would put one wire, between two posts, but it would develop a sound. So this high action, I didn't even know how to change the action. I still don't, I'm ashamed to say. I'm like the Formula One bloke, I don't know nothing about engines. I get in the car, got it. Adam's the man, he knows about the mechanics. I don't tune it up, he doesn't know. He can do that sort of thing for me. But anyway, I would lean it, and it actually was great because when I then got hold of a proper bass and that, I thought it was fantastic. I was like, when I fall down here with a horrible worn-out clutch into a nice smooth Bentley or something, it was superb. So I would have sound. But anyway, so I started kind of knocking these ideas, and this was pop tones just come from. creating some sense of space in the mind and inside him. That's one of the things that love will do, you know. Another way is a drum. So I don't know if you've ever sat with a friend. I haven't got many friends, but I've done not many. But some of us have friends. You sit there late at night in the kitchen and you start to feel drowsy, and part of that was the fridge is humming away. This tone going. And I like drums. It's like a George King, it's like Lake Belly, by the way. So any sort of drum. And then what I've talked about is this very simple thing: spacious bass line, fixed modal bass line with a drum. Repetition, obviously, maybe with the drums as well. Let's see what we get. Maybe in E, like E, just go comfortably on those 3 octaves. The drum, big range kind of drum. Slightly for the youth. You know, but then you're old. So you can't. Anyway, so that kind of takes us into modal territory. And sitting in that squat, experimenting as I did in that way, what I hadn't realised is I touched on modal music, because these open strings and all this kind of alludes to Aeolian modes and stuff. So it's modal, and what you heard there, a big chunk of modal jazz rhythm. It's no wonder I ended up years on playing so-called world music with people from China and Africa and Middle East and stuff, because the basis of most of the music's from that part of the world are modern. It doesn't necessarily, by any means, mean that they're not sophisticated. To me, a lot of the melodies and construction of the music from those parts will leave the West in their wake, very sophisticated. So Irish folk music I've played a couple of times with people, and yet again, let's try maybe, just as an experiment, let's try and give that bit of a jig, maybe more of a Celtic kind of a vibe. A bit jaunty, more of a jig thing,
Can't make it work, so
something of a rhythmic thing. Sometimes as I started checking out African music, especially like Nigerian sort of stuff, I would hear congas and started to realise I would hear the bass playing a conga part. So you might have Forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it make the sound? The answer, probably no, because it's not just a tree falling, or the airwaves and the waves, and the interaction with the ear is part of it. Without the interaction, it doesn't actually make the thing that's deciphered as a sound by the brain, by consciousness. When you look for any state of permanence, for me, in life, there isn't any. Seems to be kind of agreed on with a lot of physicists now, there doesn't seem to be the smallest particle. That everything's a coming together of a number of factors and causes. Not to say it doesn't exist. But it does. You can hear it. It would be mental if we said it doesn't exist. But it's transitory, it's impermanent. It's when I grasp the impermanence, or in fact I don't grasp, it's when I recognise the impermanence and go with it, it's when it's beautiful. That's when life's fantastic. When I try and cling on to it, I hold on to it and recreate it, for me it doesn't work. That's probably why I got into improvising. All this stuff we're doing, this is just ad hoc, you know? So it's just beautiful. It's paying respect to the moment, paying respect to being aware and present, you know? Difficult, I'm sure you know, as students, to stay present when you're feeling tired, you've been out on the razzle the night before, and you're in a lecture and it's a bit, you know, and you want to stay awake, but it's hard. And it's difficult sometimes to pay attention, I know. So anyway, that's just one of the thoughts I have today. See, nothing's permanent, so, and that's a beautiful thing you're working with, you know, it's about feel. So there's no exact thing, it's not an exact science. All I can do is say, this was my way in, all this stuff I'm telling you, this was my kind of reference points. It's still the reference points I tend to start with in music, you know. Rhythmic, so we're talking modal stuff with me. We're talking rhythms. I've really got into the rhythmic side of things, big time, odd time signatures. I started listening to Moroccan music. Actually, this is one thing we can do, a rough approximation. Yeah, there's a kind of Moroccan thing we've been working with some Moroccan musicians lately. And so Moroccan music was fantastic for me. It's the ultimate music in terms of these drums, pentatonic scales, like 5-note scales. That's one, like I mentioned, pentatonic, short, 5-note scales and smaller, short scales, circular, kind of like a circular vibe to it. So it's hypnotic, it's taking you round and round. It's hypnotic, it's entrancing. So this is a little rough thing, and you can really show off on this. You can go all over the place. So you know, and we mix this with short, obviously, and short from a kind of jazz backgrounds, obviously. So this was a fantastic kind of mixture for me, a Moroccan style, but with a bitches brew. I don't think there's any Miles Davis. A bit of a bitches brew kind of vibe in with Moroccan. Yeah, again, Miles was somebody I've got into over the years. This is a kind of mixture of things. Just twice around that. 3, 4.
Odd time signatures I've got into. 7 I really like particularly, so you know we'd have a hit of that. Let's give it out the basic one in 7. I often play off the one. Often I play one because you just play that 3, 5, 6, 7. If the bass drum's covering a one and it's a low sound, I think it's nice to play off of it. And I sometimes think of the drums as being like a skeleton, and the bass as being like the, you know, as you walk you think of the muscles, you know, so that boom, and the bass is just picking your feet up. That's kind of like that. Bass just picking it up, picking it up. Just do a you never see a regal do. I'm an old-time socialist, I'm not a monarchist. You don't see the governor scurrying, not a scurrier. You know, don't scurry about. Sorry, don't scurry about. I'm a geezer, so just try. The world moves in sync with a geezer. Or with a powerful woman who goes in sync with us. There we are, so I'm going to come in as late as I like. So I'm not even coming at the front. 1, 2, 1, 2. Because when I'm a listener, I'm going give it to me, please, you know, come in, I wait for the bass to come in, you know. And feed it there. I need it like a lover's caress. You know what I mean? You know, probably describing the PC area. I have to be careful. But that's one of the things I'm thinking of. Right, okay, stop there. So that's one thing. I've because I've got to fit the Q&A in, which disturbs me at Q&A because I'm not that controlled as a narcissist of everything that goes on. It worries me. People might ask all the questions I don't know the answers to. But anyway, but the last thing. So one other quick kind of thing. Sometimes it annoys me when you overplaying annoys me more than anything. It's like somebody just talking too much, which I probably do, but that doesn't matter because I'm a narcissist. I'm allowed to. But when people talk over each other when they're playing, improvising. It really bugs me. But let's go with the Curtis Mayfield. Oh, by the way, Adam, my fuzz ain't working, mate. He said, well, work, I don't know, I'll press a button. But we'll go with that Curtis Mayfield type vibe. And so we have a thing here to start with me and Mark. And let's think of another angle, film music. Let's think of music, the visuals, so we take it into another area. I'm an old bloke of the 70s, so let's think of Clint Eastwood. I always fancied myself as a Clint Eastwood character. Play Misty for me, so let's paint a picture. That's it, now you know we're talking. Yeah. I'm not a frustrated guitarist. Right, so let's paint a picture. Helicopter scene, it's the 70s, loads of money to spend, Technicolor. Now you're shooting it. No, that's the thing, with a helicopter shot, don't in the helicopter. Yeah, exactly. And I said visually, I didn't say, could you please make cheap sound effects? You know, if I say, well, can you imitate a helicopter on it, then fine, but I'm not. So, if you don't mind, right, okay. So the first thing you see is the Blue Ocean starts, Technicolor and all that. It might be MGM or whatever kind of film company, it would be one of those glossy. And it's me, and it's Monterey, North California, bright red sports car, driving on that highway along the edge of the cliff, driving in an almost angry fashion, the way you couldn't get away with today with speed cameras and all that, almost angrily. Very macho, thrusting, almost angry. So as you swoop in, it's silent until you just come, suddenly you swoop into me, and then we do a kind of... Modulate A to G. This is not the string, so I want it's just the first suspended kind of, you know, because this is suggesting, we're thinking visually here, you know, we're suggesting thermal currents, and yeah, so the strings are going to take me up and we're going to float about, you know. So, because we're not thinking helicopter, in fact, we could start with a picture of a seagull, and oh look, you know, right, there you go. I've done a poem, didn't I, about a seagull in my book. Once we were a seagull from Southend, he drove all his mates round a bend. He would go to France and do a stupid dance. Yes, that's how he spent his weekends. It was proper poetry in there as well. There were sonnets and all that paper and anyway. So we've got to think like, so it's floating. So, and the whole thing is, when I'm busy, when he's fairly busy, I'm playing around the drums rather than getting in them, you know. So you can be quite lots of busy little rooms. You can even show off and show how you can change the tuning and the pitch of your rim shot. Yes, you can use sticks. I said use the brushes just because I thought it would be a bit deafening for the people. That's all. It wasn't a slight on you. So yeah, use sticks. And 3, 4. Basic picture, seagull, sea, swooping kind of quality, lifting quality, transcendent quality, and now we're showing, if I think as a composer, I think we're showing Clint. How do we represent him? Well, is he a geezer who hangs about with lots of people down at the pub? Is he one of the chaps? No, he's a man alone. He's a man men like, and women too, but he's very much his own man, with his own intrinsic, in kind of funny little ways. Not quirky, because he's not a joke character in any way. He's strong, but he's very individual. He stands up for the truth and he does his own thing. Very similar to Sean. So Sean's going to come in. No, he's like you. So Sean's going to come in and do his own thing. And he's going to soar with it, but he's going to be the... And no, we shouldn't get upset, the three of us. We're playing a team game. Sean's his own man. He's going to swoop about, willy-nilly almost, as he chooses over this basic thing with the strings. Picture me. Because it's me, but that car, driving quite angrily, in a way you couldn't get away with now, so I'm not promoting reckless driving in any way. As they say in the 70s, you hear a lot of certain cases going on at the moment, it was a different time. Not that I know anything about any of that. But there you go, so here we go, driving along in the, here we go, driving along the thing. So, 3, 4. Playing for the film, I would say, right, stop there, let's, and I would take that melody and I would make that the keynote actually for, you know, that would be every time you see that character and all that. That's because that's a beautiful melody. Which actually, let's just try. Let's try a bit of Get Carter, just because I love that film, and that's a film, yet again, with a plaintive little melody. The rhythm suggests that if you ever see Get Carter, great British, don't see the remake with Geezer from Rocky, see the original Michael Caine. When we see the original Michael Caine, we go all the way up to Newcastle, gets out the train, goes in, don't go up North Jack, there aren't men up there. So it does, goes up, drops up there, being murdered and all that. He goes up and the geezer in the pub he goes in, drinking from a straight glass, has got 6 fingers, by the way. Just a little thing, which guys in the film, but anyway, sorry. But the rhythm, you got your tablas? That's what you want then, when you're in a war with you. You're in a war. Did you bring the bullets? No, I didn't know we need them. Right, okay then, right, what do I, then you, no worries. Didn't think it's just, you have to think for it, as well as think for it.
Occasion I did.
Adam's taken on the persona of a carer.
This one's mine.
But anyway, so Get Carter as as the forward motion of the train where he lets you know he's OCD when he claims that he's taking pills. So he's this funny guy, a self-contained gangster who's a bit of a hypochondriac, taking pills and, you know, health pills, and he's cleaning a spoon on the old first. Well, it's probably a wise move on the old British Rail trains, but anyway. So there's rhythms, but there's this lovely, let's make it as plaintive as possible, which starts to echo his inner solitude and loneliness with that lovely little melody, whereas me and you are pushing it forward all the time. Shame, it really is a tablet part, got a tablet, didn't set them up, didn't think he'd need them. As you do, it's what you do, you go to work, you don't get your tools out because you might not need them. Mike Hodges, I think, the director. Mike Hodges, a fantastic commentary. Most of those directors' commentaries not worth a like, but it's fantastic. It tells you, describes the coming Thatcherite age of economics very, very well, in my view. It's a great precursor to how things have turned out. In terms of, in the view of old embittered socialists like me. Right, Q&A time.
Yeah, you've got to let go.
And don't feel afraid of asking it, because I'm sure some of you are keyboardists or drummers. They're very, very good players. In fact, they deserve a round of applause. Sean Corby.
Here as a tour manager, and there's also Gadget around.
Oh yeah, Adam's asked any questions of in terms of how you make tours and all that. And John Gadget, I don't know where John is. He was Martin Harris, No Order, and all that. Joy Division, their engineer, the famous producer guy, and John was his engineer. So he really knows the Manchester scene, and all that. There you guys. You work with. Who did you work with? You got some big names, didn't you? Who do you help play?
Oh, no, it's tough. Me and Liam and
Liam Gallagher, there you go, and all that. So, you know, proper stars, not like me. But, so seriously, so ask away, don't be shy.
If you're going to ask a question, Stephen's got the microphone. It's not to amplify you, it's just so you get on the video so that we're not getting questions. Nobody knows what they are. So
then on your CV, you can put yourself down as interviewer.
Yeah. Please stick your hands up and Stephen will come here with the microphone. There you go.
What's the inspiration for
You need to point the microphone at your mouth.
What's the inspiration for the name?
My name?
Yeah.
Oh, my real name's Jah Wobble, and Sid Vicious drunkenly one night, because I like reggae, and he changed it. I'm going to call you Jah Wobble, and so I'm going to keep that Sid because no one will forget it. So that's how it happened. Because I like me reggae, still go that Sid, simple as that.
Thank you.
Anything next? Go up. Didn't do the job this morning, so oh, here we go.
Run for it.
Come on, Steve, hurry.
I'm always intrigued to know what musicians who come and do stuff with us think of the idea of teaching something like pop music at a university. I mean, coming out of punk, what do you make of that?
I tend to view pop music, in fact, I tend to see the golden age of that, and it's coupled very much with groove music. And just my own opinion is that groove music kind of started with the birth of Cool, late 50s, and ended by about 1983-84 to all intents and purposes. Since then, we're cutting and pasting. It doesn't mean that music's over or finished or anything. It's just a certain period you could kind of put a certain perspective on, and I don't think you hear much good kind of groove music, and I think pop music was kind of really proper good pop music as part of that. A little bit of a renaissance at times, mainly by way of Scandinavia and stuff. But pop music, to me, it's a little bit like the classical period of music, which was fairly short, 1750 with Mozart and all that, through to before, as it went dovetailed into the Age of Enlightenment. What, 1800 or something like that. Well, that meant it's a few decades. So that's the same for me with groove music. So I hear a lot of both my boys listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar and a lot of funk stuff, a lot of rap stuff, but with funk samples or a funk sound. And it's still the sound of the 70s. Fender bass, Fender Rhodes, whirly, so someone's kind of piano. And I like it all. I've been to see Kendrick, I like it, so when I like a bit of cut and post, I don't mind, but it's nothing much new as such there. But to teach pop music, yeah, why not? And in fact, pop music